Okay, how are we going to introduce this show? I think we just get rolling with it.
Yeah,
and,
you're going to call it, what are we calling it? Real life of a CBT therapist?
The real life of a CBT therapist.
Mm-hmm.
I all the other shows, I know the intro. This one, it's kind of like, all right, so we just start. I think that's how we do it. So we start. All right, fam. So I am excited about this new opportunity. This is Meg Hefferon, and she's a great therapist, great therapist. And she and I have decided that weekly we're going to start a new show called The Real Life of a CBT Therapist. And the goal of this show is to basically for Meg and I just to kind of go back and forth about our lives, our personal lives, and talk about things, the good, the bad, the ugly. And it's kind of like therapy for both of us because we're going to just listen to each other, and then we're going to offer maybe some CBT advice and just things that maybe to think about. And while we're talking about our own lives, obviously we're thinking about you, and we're thinking about all that you may be struggling with, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And hopefully, as you're listening to us, you can just understand that we all struggle. Mm-hmm. We're therapists, right? Yeah. But we're human first. Yeah. And just because we're therapists doesn't mean we don't struggle. So hopefully you understand, and we can all kind of agree that everyone struggles. But then hopefully you can pick up, oh yeah, Meg it's talking about this, and I can relate, and maybe you can figure out kind of through some of this conversation maybe some cognitive behavioral stuff that you might be able to use in your own life. Yeah. Right, Meg?
Yes.
By the way, welcome, Meg, to the first episode of The Real Life of a CBT Therapist.
Thank you.
I was going to say happy holidays, but we're past that now.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, 2026. Cheers. We've got Pilgrim Coffee here. Shout out to Pilgrim Coffee. So Meg, how this is going to go is we're just going to talk about what's happened in the last week or two in our lives, and just the good, the bad, the ugly. So if we had a coin, we might flip to who goes first. I guess I'll start. I'll just kind of start. So, as I think about my life in the last couple of weeks, obviously it's the holidays and everything that's gone on with that. But there's a couple things that I've just tried to be mindful of. As the new year has happened, I've thought about, okay, we're going to come back with all the new shows. We're going to do all the stuff. And I've always struggled. There's only 24 hours in a day, right? Yeah. And so how do I fit everything that I want to accomplish personally and professionally into that 24-hour day? And I've had to be very mindful about what I'm putting into the day and prioritizing that. So I think for me that I'm not sure it's been a struggle per se, but I've just had to really decide what am I at 4:30 a.m. am I gonna go to the gym, or am I gonna edit videos? Yeah. Right? That's a real thing for me, y'all. That's a real thing for me every day. And I'll tell you, all of 2025, that decision I made, I was going to get up at 4 a.m. and I was going to edit video instead of going to the gym. And what I found was my health really declined. And so July, August, I made a decision. I'm going to take some time off, stop editing videos at 4 a.m., just take time for myself. So that's worked out really well for me. I went to the gym at 4:30 this morning instead of editing video. But I will tell you, and I don't know if this is something you struggle with, even though I made a priority to do what I believe is best for myself of going to the gym this morning, I still have this kind of back and forth of, man, I wish I could have edited some video this morning too. So I think one of my struggles recently has been just trying to prioritize what's the most important thing and valuable in my life,
So what does it look like for you to hold yourself accountable to the goals? It sounds like you would call them goals that you're setting for yourself.
Goals, I think it's, while it feels great to hold myself accountable to the goals, I mean, I feel like I'm making personal gains. There's also this conflict about, there's always been an overlap for me, what the conflict between personal and professional, because what might be, and I'm not sure if you've had this conflict, what might be good for me personally may not be good for me professionally. And
is that true though? I want to challenge that.
Well, listen, she's already challenged me on this show. I mean, what I say professionally is like, if I can put out more content, if I can be more helpful to those in the community, then I think professionally that's better, right? If I'm not putting out,
which makes sense.
To challenge what you're saying is, maybe I get where you're putting. Now it's your turn's next, Meg. Okay, but if I'm better for myself, then I'm going to be better for others.
Sure. Yep. And your capacity, I feel like, expands drastically if you're taking care of yourself. At least for me, like if I'm exercising and sleeping and eating well and prioritizing my health, then I don't know. And I feel like I'm able to focus quicker when I come to work. So even if I'm not giving as much time to work, when I am working, it's more generative.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. And I think I am a better person overall when I work out. So we'll have to figure out the editing. Well, I guess the other part of this is I just have to be mindful of how much I can put on my plate, right? Yeah. This show, I love this. I love doing something with you, but I love actually just giving everyone the opportunity to look inside of our lives and really just continue to talk about the message that everyone struggles. This is a really big part of this show, is just for you to say, wow, like Meg and Randy are therapists, and I can totally relate to what they're saying. We're no different, right? We're human. But then the other thing is, I want to continue to just drop little cognitive behavioral nuggets of things that people might be able to pick up on. Yeah. So Meg, this is a great way to say, how's your life going, Meg?
Gosh, I feel like I could give a laundry list of things I'm working on, and I feel like that's how it should be, right? We're always evolving and working through things. So I think when I think about the end of 2025 and going into 2026, and I feel like this mirrors a lot of my work with patients as well, which often happens, is just emphasizing doing things that make me uncomfortable. I think especially the older you get, it's really easy to get stuck in your routines and make your life really comfortable, really predictable. But we know that's not where growth happens, and really not a full life, a life full of joy and abundance. And I think as I have been challenging myself to do more things that are uncomfortable or hard for me, it keeps me in touch with just how hard it is to go through the discomfort. Because I'm asking my patients to do that all the time, right? They're coming to me with like this fear, and I'm like, no, you need to lean into it, and it's going to be uncomfortable and hard. And when I'm doing uncomfortable and hard things myself, it makes me more empathetic, I think, to my patients' struggles.
Yeah, definitely. So we have to keep thinking what we're asking of other people, we also have to do for ourselves, and I think, going back to what's good for us is good for our patients, that if we continue to do hard things, uncomfortable things, then we have a better understanding and we can be empathetic when a patient, it's all relative. Whatever you're saying is uncomfortable,
right,
I may not think is uncomfortable,
right,
and we all have different things, but there's that common bond that we have that we all understand. When we do something uncomfortable, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of determination, whatever it is, and we all have, it could be from the very smallest thing to the biggest thing, but just that common bond. I'm thinking right now, discomfort, doing hard things is probably something I talk about with 99%.
Same.
Right?
Everybody that comes in our office.
Yeah, right. Is doing the uncomfortable.
Yep.
Being uncertain and being uncomfortable, right? You don't know how things are going to work out, and it's just going to be difficult. And, you can take that from parenting to, riding an elevator for the first time in 30 years to having a hard conversation with someone. Meg, there's lots of things that we both, as, live our lives, we struggle with. I also want to just continue to emphasize that not only do we have struggles, but there's a lot of great things that we have that go in our life that either are fun or interesting or we've accomplished. And I want this show to not only talk about the struggles, but I also want us to celebrate each other's strengths, each other's accomplishments, each other's, just wins. So what's something this last week or two that you've been really proud of yourself, or something that you've done that may be uncomfortable that you were able to overcome?
I mean, I think this show is one.
Yeah.
I think that this is not, like, doing something on social media is not something that is in my wheelhouse or comfortable for me. Like, I love one-on-one with people. That's why I'm a therapist. But doing a platform like this is definitely stretching for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm proud of myself and I even initiated it.
I was gonna say, Meg kept saying, "Hey, when are we gonna get this started?
Yeah.
When are we gonna get this started?"
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that you want to do this, because I think Meg, I've always been a big fan of Meg personally, but clinically, she has a very she's got a way about her that can obviously relate to people. But I always say that that people just kind of can feel comfortable with you, So for me, I mean, some of them just practical ones, like I'm working out now, so I've never really done a cold plunge. But cold plunge, I'm very happy with myself. I'm in it for 4 minutes. What's other things that I've done? I really prioritize my health. I would say fitness, but health. So I'm drinking way more water. I'm eating way better. I'm going to the gym. The sleep is the hardest one for me, because I always want to try to fit in so much stuff in my day. And so the sleep is the hardest. And then another big one that's a big win for me, it could have turned into a struggle, but it didn't, is that about a week ago, my car, and I'm sure there's some of you out there that can relate to this, my car just basically said, "Hey, I'm tired," and started overheating just in the middle of the day. And I had to think on the fly and just be able to be like, okay, how can I get this car home? And then what am I going to do for transportation, right? And so rather than being stressed and worrying and doing all that, I just put it all in perspective. And I think, one of the things I want to continue to talk about is just living in the moment and just being able, wherever you are in this moment is all that you need to take care of. You just need to be in this moment. So those are several things for me.
Yeah, that's great.
Meg, as we kind of wrap up this first episode, I think we're going to continue to this is going to evolve. This is going to be fun. It's going to be weekly. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. it's going to drop. I also wanted this to be a conversation that we all have together. So in the comments or just wherever we can find that. So I would encourage you to feel confident, to feel comfortable being vulnerable in the comments, and just tell us maybe one of the things that you struggled with, maybe something that you feel good about that you accomplished. Just being able to express your struggles and your strengths, and feeling comfortable with that. We would love to hear more about that. And we'll jump into the comments and kind of give you our 2-second thoughts.
Yep, it's a great idea.
Meg, to finish, thoughts?
I think, I think New Year's goals can be tricky. I think a lot of people start the new year and they're like, I have all these goals to be a better, healthier, whatever version of myself, which I think is great. Like, we love goals in CBT. But I think alongside that, just prioritizing self-compassion, because growth is not linear, and we all have harder days. And I think self-compassion is really important alongside the goal setting. So
I love that. Self-compassion. Any of you that I've ever talked with, I make you uncomfortable with this. So Meg, I'm not sure that I've ever done this with you.
Oh, great.
But we'll just try it together.
Okay.
How about that? Okay, put your hand over your heart.
Okay.
Have I done this with you?
No, am I going to say the Pledge of Allegiance?
No, not the Pledge of Allegiance. So self-compassion. So, we always talk about, and we always say to people, I love you. But how often do we say it to ourselves? And so I love putting your hand over your heart. It's just that most vital organ. This organ keeps you alive. And just this is where all your love is. And just feeling your heart beat. And then you can say it either out loud, or you can say it underneath your breath, but just saying, I love you, Randy, or in your case, I love you. You would say, I love you, Randy, but
love you,
I love you. Thank you. I love you too, but I love you, Meg. Right?
I love you, Meg.
Yeah, I love you, Meg. And just feeling just that love. Now, for some of us, that might feel uncomfortable because we're not really used to having that positive self-talk and that love. But I will just encourage you to keep doing it, just to keep doing it. And you can say, hey, Randy, I'm so proud of you today. This is something I do at night, every night before I go to bed. Hey, Randy, I'm so proud of you. With my hand on my heart, I'm so proud of you. Today, that was a hard day. And wow, way to work through that, right? So I would encourage you to be in self-love this next week. Put your hand on your heart. Say, I love you, Randy, or not me. Well, you can say I love you, Randy, but your name, and just soak in that love. Just absorb that love, and really know that that love, the more that you have that love, the more you're going to have energy for yourself and energy for others. So, Meg, cheers to the first one. I love this. We would love to hear your strengths, your struggles, any comments that you have. Again, this is going to be weekly, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
See ya.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup.